Hey, this Realm of the Mist podcast is brought to you proudly by the Nurses Guild.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham. That's right, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, Part 6, and you're listening to Breaking the Fourth Wall.
Well, you know, what'd you say?
As long as I get some turkey, it's all good.
As long as you get some turkey, I'll sing you a gobbler. You know what else I'll sing you?
Huh.
Welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall Weekly. I hit record. I'm tired of waiting. It's 7:13 on a Monday, and we're releasing this on a Monday, probably eventually, once I edit it. I am Christopher Stolle, and joining me is the master of the news buffet, Mr. Don Smith.
What's happening, guys? What's happening? How we doing?
And the master of baiting, Mr. Kolin Washburn.
Hardy har har. Thanks, Chris.
Well, you're up there in Michigan around the lakes. Aren't you doing some ice fishing? As Serenity jumps in. Hey, Serenity.
Good timing. Good timing.
Ain't that cold out? You got to get one of those.
I swear.
You got to get one of those snow machines to actually start the lakes to freeze over before you can ice fish it.
Oh, no. There's to be no fishing for me. I'm not going on the ice.
Well, guys, we're here. We're at it. It is time for another Breaking the Fourth Wall, and it is Thanksgiving week, guys. I hope you got all your birds. You know, I hope you picked up your birds. I hope you flipped off your birds. I hope you picked off your birds. I don't care what you do with your birds, as long as you got your birds for Thursday. And, of course, we're bringing in the holiday season, so I think most of what we're going to be talking about today is going to be holiday-related. But, of course, as always on these shows, we are going to start with the news buffet.
All right. Hey, welcome to the news buffet. We are. None of this is going to be holiday. Just so you know. I mean, the holidays do not supersede the news, my friend. And we cover the news as fair as we possibly can. But we're going to go ahead. It may be getting that time of year. We're going to go ahead and start in Canada. And, yeah, not holiday related at all. Officials in a Canadian town are posting signs with a very important instruction for local drivers. Do not let moose lick your car.
Lick your car?
Lick your car. Do not let moose lick your car. The signs posted in Jasper, Alberta, ask drivers to keep their vehicles a safe distance from moose, and to make sure the animals don't get a taste of the road salt that inevitably ends up covering the sides of their cars driving through the alpine town. They're obsessed with the salt. It's one of the things they need for the minerals in their body, Jasper National Park spokesman Steve Young. Wasn't he a quarterback? They usually get it from salt lakes in the park, or salt licks. I think whoever wrote this doesn't know what they're talking about. But now they realize they can also get road salt that splashes onto cars. So don't let moose lick your cars.
But wait a minute, aren't they going to get that shit from, like, eating the grass or licking the snow or God forbid they're licking on the asphalt roads or whatever? I mean, they're still going to get the salt. What's it matter if they get it from the car?
I would say don't let moose lick your asphalt.
Yeah, moose.
Just don't let moose lick things that belong to you. Keep all of your lickables out of the range of the moose's tongue, I think, is what they're going for here.
I mean,
I don't
Well,
like
I mean-
the moose lickers. I mean, moose lickers can just buzz off. I agree. But when are they like gerbils? We have to like put a salt thing in their cage. I didn't know that.
get the gerbils. Did Richard Gere show up?
Hey, I'm a little
It was
confused.
the
I'm a little
asphalt.
confused. We've gone,
It
yeah.
was the asphalt. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I brought up
okay.
gerbils.
It's an ADD moment. Let's
I-
squirrel.
Yeah, I'm wondering how we made the transition from moose to gerbil. That's, that's
I can't think of any other animal you would put a salt thing in. What other animals need salt? Do all animals need
Most
salt?
of
Well,
most
You
of
make
them.
deer licks.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
put out as bait by your bait pile.
Well, if you raise cattle, you'll have a salt lick out in the field for them.
But don't let them lick the car.
But don't let them lick your car.
It's bad for the finish and probably bad for the moose.
Right.
I wonder what the penalty is.
Well, I know it's bad
They're
for the
right
moose
cool.
because the
Covers
the
that.
rock salt that they use nowadays. I don't know if Canada follows the same rules as the United. But a lot of the rock salt they use nowadays isn't really salt. It's like chlor.
Oh yeah, chemical. Yeah, it's like
It's a chemical,
very,
yeah.
very much chemically treated.
Yeah. It's,
Some states use beet juice sugar.
Yeah,
okay, I never heard.
yeah.
of
Which I
beet
guess that would be fairly safe, you know.
I feel
Unless
like
you have
beef.
a moose that has an allergic reaction to frickin' going into anaphylactic shock from beef.
It'd be a diabetic moose.
Yeah.
This bush is terrible. Tastes like asphalt.
But if the moose licks your car, does Geico cover the damage?
We
That-
are
I
farmers.
thought just
Bum, ba-dum,
like-
bum, bum, bum,
I
bum.
guess you must really be like an aggressive moose licker if you. That sounds like a type of gin or something. Drinking moose liquors. Somebody all right? You all right?
I'm starting to wonder. Damn. I'm starting to wonder.
Me
It's that
too.
damn Sprite. Public service announcement: don't drink fucking winter spice cranberry Sprite. God Almighty. But
What? Okay.
what the fuck was I saying?
The
Oh,
moose licked it.
like maybe we got to look up.
There goes our sponsor.
Maybe we got to look up mooses licking vehicles on YouTube or something and see if they do like aggressively lick the salt off something where it's actually damaging the car and it's not just the safety of the animal.
Well, you can just Google aggressive licking. You might you might get something,
Oh, it's like
might get something that way.
it's kind of
usually
it's
know
kind of
that
like
one.
looking up the blue waffle for IHOP, right? Yeah.
You might pull up something from Pornhub. I don't know.
two girls,
Oh my god.
two girls, one cup of ice cream. Yeah, sure.
Oh man, two girls, one
Oh.
moose.
The girls, one moose.
Two girls, one moose.
You guys always mess up my algorithm. I am
Oh,
never searching for anything you guys think I should again.
Three moose and one gerbil.
Well, you know the great thing is after doing these, you're going to start seeing ads for this stuff on your Facebook page.
Dude, if we start getting some deer urine fucking lore from fucking like Bass Pro Shop or something like that as a sponsor.
Who needs a salt lick?
Did you just say salt
Cabela's
dick?
is going to target Serenity now.
You know, the visual of the salt lick is totally different for men than women.
That's why I swear I heard
Lemon?
somebody say salt dick.
Tequila? Tequila and lemon.
All right, moving forward, an Idaho man shattered a Guinness World Record when he donned a blindfold, climbed onto a unicycle, and managed 463 juggling catches while riding. David Rush, this frickin' guy again, David Rush, who broke more than 150 Guinness records to promote STEM education, previously set the blindfolded unicycle juggling record at 30 catches, but it was broken by Jeremy Walker, who managed 70 catches before dropping a ball or losing his balance. Rush's video shows him remain on his unicycle while completing 463 catches, more than 6 times the previous record. Said the entire attempt lasted 1 minute and 6 seconds. Blindfold.
Ladies, there you go. You say perfect men don't exist.
Yeah. Blindfolded while licking a moose.
With a gerbil up his rectum.
Well, yeah. The
And the leather mask with a zipper shut.
This guy, I would tell him to find a hobby, but he has too many hobbies. His hobbies are all breaking Guinness World Records and shit.
Yeah, maybe you need to tell him to find a job.
Yeah, it's probably more like.
Too much time on his hands.
Oh my
That's
God.
all we have right now is time. So
That's
might as well use it.
That's true. Speaking of a good use of your time, let's see. While on tour in central Thailand, British musician Paul Barton has been mobbed by unruly audiences that tug his hair, steal his music, and climb over his piano. Barton is a rock star to hundreds of hungry, wild monkeys that he hopes his music can calm. At a time when Thailand's coronavirus-induced tourism hiatus means fewer visitors to feed them and less funds for their welfare. We need to make an effort to make sure that they eat properly, and when they eat properly, they will be calmer and will not be aggressive, said Barton, a longtime Thailand resident. Barton has played at 4 venues, including an ancient Hindu temple, hardware store, and derelict cinema, for playing for its marauding monkeys.
That was one building.
Yeah, the macaques. He's playing for macaques. The macaques are instantly drawn as he plays Green Sleeves, Beethoven's Fur Elise, and Michael Neiman's Diary of Love, some sharing his stool, which you don't want Muckle, but I guess it'd be better that the monkeys are sharing his stool rather than sharing theirs.
They usually throw it. That's for sure.
Number one with a bullet.
I thought it was a number 2.
Number 2, yeah. Barton maintains focus as a small monkey runs up and down the piano keys as others chew at his sheet music before one tries to wrest it away. This is a guy, I guess, again, he has a hobby. Probably not a job. I don't think monkey pianist.
Did you just say monkey penis?
Resume.
Monkey penis on the
It's a
resume.
cause. He has a good cause behind it. I mean,
And as
monkeys can enjoy music too
Right,
and need food. But all I could think in my head is like the hey with the monkeys all running down the beach, like the beginning of the TV show, you know, like
Right.
but
that's a
as,
zoo.
but as
My
normal,
thoughts are totally different. I'm going Peter Gabriel, Shock the Monkey.
all I'm thinking about is as normal, the news buffet has named the episode "Monkey Penis on the Resume."
Pianist. Pianist. Make sure
Pianist.
you spell it right.
He has been hearing all kinds of P words tonight, hasn't you, Chris? Hasn't you, Chris? That didn't make sense.
Hasn't he, Chris? Now I'll tell you what though, the monkeys that keep eating the music sheets and everything else, has it never crossed this guy's mind that they might be the critics? Like, dude, we want some Chuck Berry. Screw this shit.
You see, I want to see a YouTube of this because what are these monkeys doing in a hardware store to start with?
They're
Selling hardware.
protesting
Are
monkey
there-
wrenches.
Are there masks required? Or are they social distancing? Obviously, they're not social distancing, but masks have to be required, right?
Monkeys in masks.
For monkeys,
I would hope.
for monkeys, I would rather them put the masks on their ass than their face. I mean, I'm more worried about what comes out the other end.
They already threw that, remember?
Right, yeah, they shared their stool.
See, now I'm thinking monkeys in masks. All I can think of is that with the Gorillas band, their videos.
Gorillas in the Mist. Jane Goodall is just all fucking hollified right now. Maybe I should have used an accordion.
Right, yeah, that's try calm your monkeys. Just calm your monkeys. That's what you got to do.
Calm your monkeys, but don't spank your monkeys, folks. Come on.
Yeah, the saying "you are what you eat" may soon become a lot more literal. A DIY meal kit for growing steaks made from made from human cells was recently nominated for Design of the Year by London-based Design Museum. Named the Ouroboros steak after the circular symbol of a snake eating itself tail first, the hypothetical kit would come with everything one needs to use their own cells to grow miniature human meat steaks. People think that eating oneself is cannibalism, which technically this is not, Grace Knight said, one of the designers.
How the fuck is it not cannibalism?
Before you go running for your wallet, know that this product isn't available to buy. It was created by scientist Andrew Pellig, a artist Orkin Tellon and Knight, an industrial designer on commission by the Philadelphia Museum of Art for an exhibit.
Of course, Philly had to fucking be involved in it. God damn it.
A website for the imagined product states, growing yourself ensures that you and your loved ones always know the origin of your food, how it has been raised, and that its cells were acquired ethically and consensually. So,
my God.
Thanksgiving is coming up, eat me.
They just need to go to Germany. It's not illegal to be a cannibal in Germany.
Oh, my God. Come on, people. Oh, it's not really cannibalism because we're growing it from your own cells. Yeah, well, I use a rubber dildo up my ass, but that doesn't mean I'm gay. Come on, people.
Technically, your children are grown from cells that you've taken from yourself. So, I mean...
Well, I guess some people swallow it. I guess, all right, maybe I'm wrong on this.
There you go. There you go. Is that considered cannibalism?
Yes.
It depends on how Catholic you are.
Let's be real, yes.
Well, do you get to know the donor?
It's you.
You are.
Grow your own meat. Like, literally,
yeah.
your own.
Like, you prick your finger, put it in the water, and it grows a little piece of meat for you to fry.
Right, because if there was a donor, if you got it from somebody else, then that would be cannibalism.
So I put my plate in front of Don and say, "Hey, eat me."
Yep.
Then I would.
That's cannibalism. And doesn't cannibalism drive you mad?
See, I can see
just people who do it.
I can definitely see some issues with, like, women when they serve dinner and they, I want you to eat me later tonight, and guys get all excited and then they get a steak in front of them. It's like, oh, I thought you meant the other thing.
Right.
Oh.
What if somebody took a bite of my steak and they're like, "Pooey"?
We know where you got the meat.
Yeah, that would be really embarrassing if you grew your own meat and nobody wanted to eat it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would taste different from different places.
You mean depending on where you got the cell sample?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would imagine that you don't want to eat armpit meat.
I'm just thinking people I like and people I don't like.
Always go for the back straps or the shoulder. That's the safest.
Well, we know Stolle steak would taste like Sprite and coffee.
Oh.
Right. Mine would be pre-soaked in vodka.
At least yours is marinated.
Makes it more tender.
As long as my ass tastes like anything but pumpkin spice.
Did you try any of the pumpkin spice, Colin? It's to die for.
Oh, God.
Dude, you sounded like the Mad Hatter in fucking Alice in Wonderland when you said that. A very merry unbirthday to you.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, we're going from Eden to the other end. The organizers of the annual America's Best Restroom contest have fleshed out a 2020 winner. Centos Corporation named the public restroom at Bancroft Park in Colorado Springs, Colorado as America's Best Bathroom for the 19th annual contest. The high-tech restroom self-cleans after every 30 uses, featuring a touchless automatic toilet paper, soap, and water dispenser, and hand dryers. An app alerts the park maintenance supervisor when supplies are running low. We're very proud to win this award since opening these new restrooms just a few short months ago, said Karen Paulus, Director of Colorado Springs Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. The amount of recognition we've received is a testament to the value people place in hygienic and memorable public restrooms. Memorable. Have you ever had a memorable public restroom visit?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
kids,
but it wasn't
gather around the restroom.
But it wasn't the restroom that made it memorable. I will say this much: the next time I say, Colorado Springs is a shithole, then people from Colorado Springs can literally say, "Yeah, the best in the country."
Yeah, the best one, and it's a self-cleaning shithole. Every 30 uses. That doesn't sound like enough for me.
You know what? Out of that whole entire thing,
Want to be number 30.
The funny thing is like out of that whole entire article, the thing that concerned me the most was the touchless toilet paper dispenser. Thinking like 2 squares. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You have to keep waving your. I'm hoping you wave your hand. I'm hoping you wave your hand in front of it.
Oh, hell, I saw this meme the other day. Somebody had a splitter on the inlet valve underneath their toilet. They had a garden hose with a sprayer attached off the splitter. It was great.
Oh, it was a fucking.
They made their own bidet?
It was a redneck bidet.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Well, it's made out of a garden hose, so that would actually be a badonkadonk bidet.
That's a badam, it's cold.
Water the daisies.
Yeah, you
They're
don't
just not telling you what they really use those for. Come on.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
it didn't give a description.
it's like women with the shower heads that detach. That's not just so they can like massage their back.
Right. That's not what that's for.
Yeah, that's like the meme I seen of these 2 girls that were singing like into microphones, but they were vibrators.
No.
You don't sing to yours?
Well,
Looked like they were having fun.
yeah, but every time they smiled, they had chipped teeth. So
No.
Yeah, turn it off.
I get good vibrato when I turn it on. Listen.
Well, that's nothing. One of them had a rubber stuck between her teeth.
It's gum, like
Dental
fucking,
floss.
like fucking cone heads. You remember that movie?
Oh, God.
Who doesn't remember Coneheads? I thought it was going to come back, but it never did.
Well, it could. Dan Aykroyd's still around.
Yeah, I mean, hell, they're supposed to.
It's true.
Eventually, we're gonna get the true Ghostbusters 3 movie, Afterlife.
Yeah, when they're all there. Yeah.
Even though Spangler's not with them anymore, Harold Ramis.
Yep. Well, he's going to be one of the ghosts. A Florida man who strapped a light pole to the roof of his car on a highway has been arrested on charges of grand theft, authorities said. Douglas Allen Hatley, 71, was pulled over on a Tampa roadway on Monday after another driver reported that a maroon Toyota Camry was hauling a metal pole nearly double the length of the car on its roof. Hatley said he found the pole on the ground by the side of the highway and wanted to sell the metal for scrap, according to troopers. The driver told authorities that they had seen Hatley tie the pole to his car roof a few miles away on Interstate 4 near the I-75 interchange. Wow. A 71, this is a metal pole. These things aren't light. This is a metal pole that this 71-year-old man hoisted by himself and secured to the roof of a Toyota Camry.
That boy was looking to do some highway jousting. That's what that
Oh,
was.
Yeah.
Maybe his headlights burned out. He was trying to light his way.
Exactly. Yeah, it's awesome.
Let him do it.
See, that's
Great picture.
Camry of all things. That's awesome right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
like
God.
the cops should have just been like, you know
Gas
what?
station?
If I was a cop, I'd just be like, you know what? See this little 71-year-old man in a Toyota Camry and have that fucking pole on there? I'd just be like, dude, you want it that bad. It's yours. Go ahead.
Exactly. That man earned that. I mean, it wasn't like he took it down himself. I'm sure somebody ran into it and he was just grabbing it because it was laying by the side of the road. That's fair game right there for a scrapper.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like that on that's you, dude.
He
You got
should-
it.
He should join like the retirement's version of the Strongman competition.
Exactly. He was practicing for the Scottish caber toss. That's what that was.
Like that old fuck that was on America's Got Talent. You can find it on YouTube. He's like fucking 98 years old and he's pulling a car with his teeth.
Yeah, I don't even think they're his original teeth either.
Apparently, supposedly they were, but I mean, he that shit's unreal. When you're that old and you're able to do shit like that, there's nothing you could do but fucking tip your hat, saying good on you, brother. I got nothing for you.
Well, the way he was sitting in the car, it looks like he was trying to build a tank.
He might have been.
Like, you remember that movie Animal House? That was awesome.
More like
oh yeah, Deathmobile.
with as up as that pole is, it's more like Porky's.
Oh god.
It's got a mole on it.
All right, let's see if we can get one. Let's see if we can get one more in here. A Florida man jumped into a pond to rescue his puppy from the jaws of a hungry alligator that had grabbed the canine and dragged him underwater. Richard Wilbanks said he was outside his family's Estero home when he heard Gunner, the puppy he had only recently adopted, crying out in distress. Wilbanks rushed to the back of the house where he saw an alligator had grabbed Gunner and was dragging the dog underwater. The Florida Wildlife Federation surveillance camera recorded the moment Wilbanks jumped into the water to pry open the gator's jaws, allowing Gunner to run to safety.
What kind of dog was Gunner?
Gunner was not seriously injured.
What was he?
Let's see. What kind of? It tells what kind of dog Gunner. It does not say.
Well, if Gunner was a Chihuahua, if Gunner was a Chihuahua, you're a dumbass. You should have just let the fucking gator have him. Get rid of the rat problem.
I've known one cool Chihuahua in my life.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine has a
don't
dog
think they
named
count.
Mercy, a Chihuahua. He's a cool dog. The rest of them can fuck off. You're right, but that Lil G's a cool dog.
Just
I
let
think
him
that there's
have
a
it.
size requirement.
What's that?
I think there's a size requirement to being a dog, so I don't know if Chihuahuas really qualify as being a dog.
Look,
Yeah,
anything
they're mean.
you could shove in your purse is not a dog. Plain and
Yeah,
simple.
it's dangerous, but
Fits
it's
in your
not a
purse,
dog.
not a dog. No, no dogs fit in purses.
No.
Not allowed.
Anything that a large dog would consider one of its turds because it's about the same size, not a dog.
Well, I also have to say, give this guy props. It's a brand new pet, and he put his life in danger to open up his mouth in order to save this puppy. That's pretty cool.
That's the thing. It wasn't just like on the bank. It wasn't on the land. He went into the water after a gator.
Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that takes some balls right there.
Well, considering how much money animals are when you buy them from a pet store, I don't blame the guy. He's like, fuck that, you ain't having a $1,300 meal.
Well, this was an adopted puppy.
I say
the
price
Gunner was
doesn't
recently
matter.
I see the video. I
Yeah.
actually see the video. And
Well, yeah, but he
I
paid
don't
for the
want
shots.
to.
He
it
paid
is
for the shots and
literally
the immunization, the registration, and all
It is a
that
beagle.
stuff. I mean, he's got some money invested there.
it is a beagle,
It's a
and
life.
the alligator's about the size of a cayman. It's not a huge alligator. Still, props to him. He
I had
did
a
do it.
cayman.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there he is. There he is getting the little.
Yeah, that's
getting
the same
little
video
beagle
right
out
there.
of the gator.
But it's like a little baby
Okay,
beagle.
yeah, that's like a 3-foot gator. Yeah, that's not much.
That's a
I
cayman.
mean, it'd still tear your hand up pretty good. He's got his arm right there. He's got him pretty good, but
Did he at
that's
least
that's still.
He should have ate the gator at least.
Yeah, right. I would have kept that fucker.
Oh yeah, I'd have kept the gator. Yeah.
That'd be a snack.
Wouldn't have been a good for a pair of boots, but I'd have had a belt out of that motherfucker.
I would have fried his ass for some nuggets, and I would have kept, like you said, make some fucking shoes or something out of the rest.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Feed that gator to the dog.
Yeah.
Hey, lick me now, gator.
There's
That's
irony.
Turnabout's fair play right there. That's, yeah.
That's straight fucking
Makes total
irony
sense
right
to
there.
me.
Yeah.
Well, what goes around comes around.
All right.
The
And
gator's actually
that is
cuter. The gator's actually cuter than the little puppy.
Damn, that's harsh.
He's cute.
and that is the news buffet. Why the buffet? Because we went from eating human meat to eating dogs and alligators. So that's the buffet this week. Thanks for playing along.
Otherwise known as a Chinese buffet. Look,
Yeah,
That's
look,
the cat. That's where the cat.
look, I know I'm fucking up the algorithms right now. All I'm saying is there's a reason there's no stray dogs or cats in Chinatown. Think about it.
Yeah, it's rough.
I miss those Chinese buffets, okay? It's been some months now.
Makes you think twice
Oh,
about the
gee.
poo-poo platter.
That sounds good. Sitting in your living room eating some fried chicken rice. Oh,
I got some sweet and sour chicken sitting in my lap right now. I'll probably be mad if she actually understood English.
what kind of chicken? What?
Sweet and sour. I got my cat in my lap.
Oh, that's bad. We would never eat your cat.
You kidding?
While it was alive.
She'd feed
I'm not
fucking
worried about
Ethiopia
that,
for
but I'm
3
not eating
months.
chicken from his lap.
Hey, there's some people that would eat out of my lap. Not recently, but there have been people.
It depends on the chicken.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well,
Like I said, always go backstrap to the show.
look, I'm going to stop being the butt of the jokes here, especially since I can make a meal out of that butt with my own human cells. I'm telling you, Thanksgiving's never going to be same on that. So let's go ahead and get into After Hours, and we're just going to talk about some holidays. So here we go.
Hi, this is Dave from the Comic Collection, the ultimate comic store here in Feasterville, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Northeast Philadelphia. Come and see all of the great stuff we have here at the Comic Collection, including action figures, vinyl, CDs, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, back issues, action figures, old action figures as well, statues, and of course, let's not forget comic books. Come visit us at the Comic Collection at 83 Bustleton Pike, Feasterville, PA 19053, right next to Northeast Philadelphia. Come visit us. We'll look forward, and yes, we are open during this pandemic thing.
He's a pretty cool cat, you know, he smokes pot, and he's just a real relaxed, mellow dude that we could always bring on to talk. And it's a cover song that's remade beautifully, so it's a good song.
Oh,
I like it a lot.
Oh, we could have that argument. We could definitely go there and have that argument.
Oh, what argument are we having here?
About beautiful cover songs. Oh, well, that's going to talk holidays, but we can get into that because I mean, you know, to me, there's a couple covers out there that are kind of like, you know, bar really high. I mean, you could argue the point that some of the covers are better than the originals in some aspects. Of course, the ones I would point to are the two off the top of my head anyway, Sound of Silence by Disturbed and Johnny Cash's Hurt.
What about Bad Wolf Zombie?
You know what? Everybody screams about that, and I honestly, I will be the bad guy. It sucks. The Cranberries version was way better.
I think it's good. I like how they twisted it.
I didn't.
No, the band that we were talking about, the remake, I sent the song to Colin, and it's a friend of mine's band, so I do not want to debate over this specific song, because I will not let anyone say anything bad about a friend. You know how I am.
What song did they cover? I don't have to hear it. I'm just curious what song they covered.
It's a Legion.
Okay.
Let me
Well,
hang on. I have to look on my phone. Roundabout. It's the "You Spin My Head Right Round," that song.
all right. Well, even if they do a great cover of it, which I'm not going to say they do or don't because I haven't listened to it, but because I know the song itself and all the covers that have been done previously before this band, the song
Oh no,
itself
it's
isn't that
Roundabout.
good.
It was the Roundabout. It was the song by Yes. Roundabout.
Was it
Oh,
that one?
okay.
Roundabout. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not "You Spin My Head Right Round," whatever.
Okay, maybe it's not. I don't
Okay.
know. I was just trying to remember what it was.
All right,
And
respect just raised for your friend's band then, because the "Spin Right Round" song, the original sucked. All the subsequent covers usually aren't any better.
Well, there's about 10
there it
covers of
is.
that
I
one out
found
there.
it.
But this
No,
this particular cover is a badass cover. You guys should take a listen if you get a chance.
yeah. I don't know. Just letting y'all know. I'm gonna go outside and smoke because literally I got home and started recording immediately.
Well,
Oh,
smoke. We don't
oh, I
care.
need a cigarette. It's hard for me to get off my bed, man. I need to lower it and take off maybe 3 of the 5 pillows and blankets.
Oh, I know this song. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you have to listen to how they redid it because honestly, I'm pretty proud of people.
They did great. They put in some awesome vocals, some great mixing in the effects, and they darkened it a little bit. And I think it came out really nice.
There it is.
I'll give it at least the first verse. I'm not gonna play the whole thing on this.
No, I just wanna.
God damn it.
Pretty badass. I haven't listened
That's
to it
not
in a
bad.
few months.
That's not bad. I don't want to go. I probably already, if your friend, since he is a friend, let him know that I played a little bit of his song on Breaking the Fourth Wall Weekly, so like he can clear the copyright strike that I get for this episode on YouTube.
I'll message Greg. I haven't talked to him in a while because lockdown.
Yeah.
They were getting ready to put out and tour and really go places, and they've been local for a long time, so they deserve it.
Well,
And then pandemic.
it is the season, so everybody should be putting out by now. Look, we all need it. When all of a sudden the Salvation Army becomes the red light district.
Well, anyway, the band is called the Legion, and it's spelled Allegeaeon. It's a cover of Roundabout by Yes, and you guys want to look it up. It's on YouTube. It's actually really good.
Well, right on. So, yeah, I've got that there, and I'm going to check out the rest of it. When we're not on air, so that way I'm not getting a copyright strike or whatever from YouTube. Anchor and the subsequents won't give a shit. YouTube's the one that will.
Another one I thought was really good lately was that Blacktop Mojo. They did a cover of Fleetwood Mac Dreams that was phenomenal.
Never even heard of them.
I have to agree.
Never even.
Yeah, it's a really
heard
great cover.
One of my personal favorite covers, even though the band itself, quite honestly, the band itself is horrible, but they did a phenomenal cover, and it's probably one of their only hits. Got to give it to Alien Ant Farm and Smooth Criminal.
Oh, yeah. That is actually one of my jams.
The band's not good.
Yeah, that was a good.
The band's not good, but that cover was great.
Yeah, I was never into the band that much, but that particular cover did turn some heads. I got a kick out of that one.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about covers, there's a guy called Leo Marcarelli, I think is how you pronounce it. Marcarelli.
Leo,
Who does a
love
cover. He does a cover of Wheels on the Bus that is thoroughly enjoyable for everyone. And he does some hardcore tunes. He does pretty much a cover of everything, and it's phenomenal.
That's it. I've got a challenge for some of Serenity's friends that is out there. You want to do covers? I want to see a cover of a fucking Wiggles song.
Oh, God.
I want a heavy metal Wiggles song.
I'll put a comment on Leo's page on his YouTube. He'll do it.
I mean, the Wiggles is just, fucking heavy metal for kids anyway. So tune it up for adults.
I think that's actually been done. I'll have to check it out. I'll look into it because I think I've heard a version that's definitely more up to date.
The video game nerd in me has got to give it to
there's a comedian named Mike O'Connell.
Okay. Comedian Mike.
Where'd you go?
I'm right here. Comedian Mike O'Connell.
Oh, I was wondering what happened to you. You got quiet. Well, he does a couple heavy metal educational songs for toddlers that are stupid as hell, but they're funny.
Well, see,
just because they're heavy metal, there's one's called "Only Wet and Yourself at Home."
Yeah. Well, I mean, Weird Al did all kinds of crazy stuff, and it sold records for him, but I wouldn't really download them and listen to them myself.
Weird Al? Absolutely, I would. I just won't listen to the one he
Right.
did recently. It's just I won't listen to the one he did recently that got too political. I don't think Weird Al belongs in politics. He released a song about the whole entire shit between Biden and Trump. Al shouldn't be.
I wouldn't vote for Weird Al anyway.
No, but I'm saying Al should not be jumping into that. Al should be staying completely unbiased in that reaction. He wasn't, which was shocking and surprising and a little disappointing for Al, especially with how long his career has been with just, he'll pick on anyone and anything.
Yeah, that's kind of his MO, though. I mean, you can kind of expect it out of him.
True, but you always expected him to be unbiased in what he does. You know what I mean? This time around, this time he let his point of view out in it. He let it get a little personal on his end. That was what was disappointing about us, because with everything else, it's always been whether you liked it or didn't like it, you respected the fact that he, put it out there. This one, it was more like he did it for him than his fans. If that makes any sense. I can't even remember the name of the song.
Well, there's a point where every musician kind of gets a chance to say whatever they want to say, and it could be good, it could be bad, but musicians have opinions, and some of them put it out there and some of them don't, and I mean, you can't fault them for wanting to put an opinion out there. I mean, you don't like Trump, you don't like Biden, well, he put it out there.
Well, right, but the thing is that he didn't put it out as like he doesn't like Trump, or you don't like Trump, or you don't like Biden. He put it out there as you don't like Trump. ... There was no attack on the other end of the aisle. It was literally Al saying support Biden and fuck Trump in Al Yankovic's way. And that's where I found it disappointing. And that's where I found it disappointing is not just because, I'm more conservative by nature or anything else, but the fact is Al's always been, as Colin put it, the defense rider. He'll pick on anything and anybody except in this case. In this case, he chose a side, and that was so weird for a Weird Al song.
Yeah,
generally,
but
he stays neutral, I would say.
Yeah, but I'm in support of people being able to have an opinion, just because celebrities, a lot of them did come out and say which side they were on. What makes musicians any different? I've heard a lot of downfall from people on lockdown because musicians are stating their opinions about the pandemic or the elections or whatever. And I think it's no different than some celebrity coming out and saying, you know, big time actress saying, I support Joe Jorgensen.
Well, no. You're right. And I know there's enough people on Twitter and stuff. To Al's credit, even though he has blatantly made it that he's a Biden supporter and not a Trump supporter or whatever else, he did keep it clean and kind of respectful. I know what you're talking about. There are some comedians and musicians out there. I can name two right off the bat. I'll dox them right now. Fucking Ron Perlman and Christopher Titus, who are not only hardcore liberal leftist supporters, Biden supporters and everything else, they spew so much hate towards anybody who does not agree with them. It is ridiculous. They have called us, they themselves, you can go look at their tweets, call us mindless moron. If you're conservative or you lean on the right, or if you're a Trump supporter, you're a mindless moron. You're a racist. You should be dead and killed or put in concentration camps. These are words coming out of their fucking mouths. That's not a supporter. I don't care what side of the aisle you are. That's not a supporter I want to hear. You know what I mean? And celebrity or not, keep your comments to yourself when it comes to that. Because people do take that shit seriously. You know what I mean? I don't want to get political on this, situation. But people who idolize somebody like Ron Perlman or Christopher Titus, which nobody idolizes Christopher Titus, let's be real. But, Ron Perlman, there are people who love him from Sons of Anarchy or the Children of the Clockwork or whatever. I forget what it's called. Weird ass movie that he's in, or even Alien Resurrection that he was in. There are people, and of course Beauty and the Beast. People love Ron Perlman. Hellboy. All I got to say is Hellboy. Mm-hmm. People love Ron Perlman. Words that venomous, people will listen to. And then some dumbass is going to go out and do it because Ron Perlman said to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, either way. I mean, either side of the aisle, you got that, though. I just think that everyone has an opinion, and some are bold enough to speak it in the way they think it should be spoke, and, you can't fault them unless they're really getting angry or low down and dirty and, saying racist things. That's just not appropriate.
That's what I'm talking about. And you're absolutely right. There's people on the right side of the aisle that are doing that as well. I don't want to make it seem like I'm only picking on the liberals. But what I am picking on is when you are in a position of power. And this was an argument back in the 90s. And you guys may, or even earlier, I remember this, like when Charles Barkley was a basketball player. And he would turn around and tell people, I am not a role model. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm not going to change my actions or behaviors because I'm not a role model. The argument was just as relevant now as it is then. Yes, you fucking are. Whether you want to be or not, doesn't matter. Once you reach celebrity status, when you started influencing other people through your music, through your sport, through your whatever medium you're in, somebody is looking up to you. You are a role model. Your actions and your opinions do matter to them. You have to take some semblance of responsibility for it. You could tell people, vote for Biden, vote for Trump. That's fine. Tell them what you want. Tell them to be a vegan. Tell them to be proud to be whatever. But don't insinuate hatred towards the opposite side simply because they're thinking differently than you or act differently than you. And that is where the semblance of responsibility comes from. And that's my argument in a lot of today's society, especially with the fact that we have social media. And everybody absolutely believes that they can say whatever the hell they want with impunity because they're hiding behind a keyboard in their mom's basement and are not going to get punched in the mouth for what they say. So they don't know there's consequences to actions.
Right. And that sucks because a lot of people do that. At the same time, everybody has an opinion. They're like assholes. Everybody's got one. But
and they all stink.
You have to tread lightly on other people's feelings because everybody's a snowflake as well. Mm. And we're in that day and age in this country where, everybody has the right to express themselves and have their own opinion on stuff. But where do you stop and not push the envelope and try to be overbearing or whatnot? Because if someone looks up to you, you have to try to at least push the right type of an image, or else what type of people are we breeding, and what type of young people are we influencing in a good way or bad way?
Well, that goes into the argument about like just the media itself, music, whatever, the media itself being influenced on our young persons, and we've had that argument for years. Not us, but I mean in society in general, all the way back from the arguments of whether violent video games are causing violence in the streets to the fact that like kids nowadays walking around with their pants half hanging off their ankles, using fucking dumbass ghetto slang and everything else is the direct result of gangster rap. Yeah, and hip hop culture, and you know, of course not. It's culture. It's not influenced by entertainment. Yes, it is.
Well, yeah, and you can tell it directly relates because they're wearing the same kind of clothes, they're dressing the same, they're wearing the same jewelry, the same hat, the same Nikes or Reeboks or FUBU or whatever it is, you know, and they're just following what they're seeing on videos, and that's fine. But I mean, you have to look at, well, what are the parents doing? Are they correcting them and letting them know that maybe the stuff that you're into isn't always that appropriate?
Exactly. And understand, I mean, and Serenity knows this too. I am not one for censorship. I'm not saying that these things should be censored or whatever, but you're right, Colin, that I think or not musicians, but parents should be directly involved in what your kids are watching, kids are listening to, kids are playing video games of. So and being able to use it as a teachable moment that's like, look, just because you listen to this, you know, this guy here, using as a rap as an example, like let's say NWA. These guys came from Compton in California. They grew up in bad neighborhoods. They grew up where cops were kind of harsh on black people, you know, and stuff. They grew up in an era where they dealt with that. You are a white boy from suburbia. You are no gangbanger. You can listen to their lyrics. You do not emulate their lifestyle. They went through something you will never know because your mom and dad are dentists and lawyers. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's the danger.
Well, I think there's a point where as a parent you kind of decide what's appropriate and what's not for your children. So if your kids understand that that's not appropriate and that's not good behavior, then why would they want to emulate it? You know, like.
Well, let's be fair too.
You don't copy what you don't want to.
Let's be fair. A lot of us, and Don, correct me if I'm wrong here, because you're the older gentleman of the room. A lot of us went through a rebellious stage that a lot of the things we got into is simply because it got on our parents' nerves. Like, I started listening to harder heavy metal because it pissed my mother off.
My whole life's been a rebellion.
Sure.
My parents are awesome, so my rebellion had nothing to do with what they liked or what they didn't like.
I still remember one time I was sitting there. It's not hard heavy metal. I was sitting there listening.
Yeah, my rebellious phase lasted 44 years now.
What did you say, Don?
His rebellious stage has been 44 years now.
My rebellious phase lasted 44 years now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it never ends with you.
It's totally different because I grew up in a go-go establishment, and so my parents were pretty liberal. They let me listen to whatever I wanted to, but at the same time, I'd be sitting in front of the television watching some movie that was not really my age appropriate, or it was like a horror movie and there was like blood and guts and this and that. My dad would walk in and take the remote away from me and be like, no, you're not watching that. Garbage in, garbage out. You'll start acting stupid and doing things and acting that way of these people in his movies, and then we'll have problems. And I'm like, I didn't believe him. I was like, no, I won't. But no, I wasn't going to argue with him. He took the remote. So I wasn't allowed to watch that kind of stuff till I was about 16, 17. They loosened up on that.
I have to agree with your parents in this aspect.
Oh, yeah. They were totally in the right to correct my behavior and let me know that, no, that kind of stuff isn't appropriate at your age, and you need to understand that. And that's why he took the remote. And I respect him for it now.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because I remember, you know, growing up with my parents and a lot of things they were, you know, totally against and I thought was unfair or anything else, especially growing up as one of the only kids on the block. In the area I grew up in for a while, there was a lot of elderly and all. So I wasn't really allowed like out of my yard until I was, 15 years old. out on my own, and I'd hear my buddies in school talking about how like they could stay out till this, that, or the other, ride their bikes to wherever, and I was allowed the block I lived on, and that was about it. And for the longest time, I resented that, and I may have taken that into teenage years, but now as an adult and a father, I totally get where my parents were coming from. You know what I mean? Where I didn't get it back then, but I totally get it now.
Right. It's strange how a human being evolves and learns from all the behaviors that they witness around them, and then when they have to be the influence or the nurturer or the mentor of someone else who's learning things that's younger than them, they actually take on that role and are more like, you know what, I don't want to influence you inappropriately, so this is what I'm going to show you.
Well, you know what? This brings a great segue back into what this topic of conversation was supposed to be about, which wasn't politics, which wasn't children rearing, but it was supposed to be about holidays. And, thinking back as a kid, there was some holiday traditions, especially with like Thanksgiving coming up. At my house, it would be the football game would be on, and when I was a kid, the Army-Navy game was on Thanksgiving. Which was a big college game in my house. Of course, Dallas and Detroit would be playing football, and nobody gave a shit because we were Eagles fans. But we would watch the Army-Navy game, and while watching it, my mother and grandmother would be in the kitchen preparing the Thanksgiving dinner, and my grandfather would be asleep on his recliner, and I'd be helping put up the Christmas tree and decorations. That was Thanksgiving tradition. That's when the tree went up, because Santa showed up on the Thanksgiving Day parade, ushering in the Christmas season. What about you guys? Did you have any, whether growing up now, did you have any holiday Thanksgiving traditions? And even more so, is there any that you carry in your life now?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we still basically have the same Thanksgiving we always did over at parents' house. It was always at Mom and Dad's growing up, so where we had the whole family Thanksgiving with everybody coming over. So we still do that. Not sure how it's going to look this year, but probably about the same.
Right. Yeah. Our family.
No football. We never did football. We never did football in the house. We weren't a football family, I guess.
Yeah, we watch football, but I don't know. My mom, she likes Packers, and my nephew, he likes the Lions. So they're always watching the football stuff. I don't get into football myself, but we always do the extra plate at the table for the wayward traveler, for the spirit of the person who didn't have a place, or the person that, maybe they passed on last year and they miss us, so they want to have dinner with us. So we always leave that open chair and that open plate. And some of our friends that visit for Thanksgiving sometimes will say, well, that's for Jesus, or something like that. But it's a symbolic thing that our family's always done. We always set an extra plate and we put a little bit of food there, and we have an open chair just in case there's a spirit among us that wants to join us.
Aww.
That's pretty cool. I've never
we never
once heard that.
We never had an open chair because there was always somebody coming to fill our chairs. I mean, even we've had people at our Thanksgivings that none of us had ever even met. Like one of my cousins would meet somebody, didn't have anywhere else to go. It's like, okay, come on over. And then we would, that was the fun thing. The interesting thing about our Thanksgivings is we would almost always have at least one or two people that nobody had ever actually met. And we'd welcome them in, and you wouldn't even be able to look and tell that they weren't part of the family. And that I always thought that was pretty cool.
How about
that is pretty cool.
How about you, Serenity? Any traditions from the past or future, or not future, but past and now carried on, or even traditions that you have now with you and your family, your child?
The main thing that is a number one rule is we all have to get tipsy. So the first tradition is pouring a glass and something to drink. And then my dad does a lot of breads. So we always do homemade bread, and we just all cook. My brother and me, we just all get in the kitchen and we cook. We don't really do football unless it's the Broncos, and we just like spending it as a family. So our tradition is just to be a family, and that's what we're going to do again this year. But I am doing 2 of them because I'm doing one at my house for me and my family too.
Right on. What type of dishes are you looking forward to Thanksgiving? Some people have many different things. For example, growing up, there was a side dish that I loved. I don't know why I loved it, but I loved it. But my grandmother would make peas and pearl onions in a white cheese sauce that was like absolutely to die for. And now in modern times, with my girl's sister's in-laws, we always do Thanksgiving at their house, and the father, whose name is Mike, he makes this killer fucking jambalaya, dude. I am so looking forward to some jambalaya Thursday.
That sounds good.
Oh, it's awesome. He makes it with like chicken and of course like the sausage, and he puts fucking shrimp in there and everything. It's got a nice spice to it. Oh, it's great. I will be fat as shit Thursday, I promise you. What about you guys?
I'll be the wayward bull on that one.
What about you guys? Any particular dish you're looking forward to besides the turkey?
Oh, turkey. Gotta have turkey. But no, my mom usually does pies of some sort. And for me, the biggest thing around the holidays is Mom does fudge and is the bomb. I love the fudge. I would eat all of it. I get fat on that stuff.
Do you pack it for Christmas? Are you the fudge packer for Christmas?
Oh, hardy har. No.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
No,
Just
straight
pack
up
me some of the normal fudge and ship it over here, okay?
Hell yeah. I would too. It's good.
I want to try some. I want the recipe because I haven't had fudge in so long.
Well, I'm fortunate because my family's in the restaurant business, so my mom knows a lot about a lot of different types of food, and sometimes for like Christmas, we'll do something different, like she'll make duck, or we'll do like gyosho.
What's a
For like
gyosho?
New Year. Gyosho is a Japanese dish. When I was a little boy, like 2 years old, my mom and dad lived with my grandmother in Minneapolis, and um, there was my dad's brother who was a Marine, and he went to Japan, came back with a wife, and so they lived there with their children, my cousins, and they taught my mom how to make authentic Japanese food. So every once in a while, mom will be like, "Hey, let's make some gyosho," and we will. It's made with pork, and it's got the little wonton skin wraps, and you wrap it all up, little bundles, with
Okay.
spices and some veggies and things, and it's really really good. But that's a classic thing that sometimes we'll do for like New Year's or something.
That's
Or like I
killer.
said, mom will make a duck or lobster tails or all kinds of wild stuff. I love it that when my mom comes and gets creative in the kitchen.
Nice.
I I want to come and join when you're, well, okay. I want to be there when your mom is getting creative in the kitchen.
I want some of that Kyosho. I want to try that shit.
Right?
Sounds
Sounds so good.
Right. Well, Serenity, I think
See, the last several
I've
years,
sent
my mom used to do all the baking and all the cooking and everything. And the last couple of years, my brother's been buying a lot of the stuff so that because mom's in her 70s, so rather than have her slave over a stove all day long, she gets to enjoy herself a little more, but we don't get the quality of baked goods we used to.
Understandable, though. Understandable.
Well, mom's up
I
there in
have
years,
to
yeah.
say, I'm kind of sad this year because we always do Thanksgiving now that an adult. We go to my grandmother in Los Angeles for Thanksgiving. That's like our big holiday with her. And she does a big feast, but it's obviously ordered in. She's almost 105. So she's not cooking the meal. But due to pandemic, this will be the first time in 11 years that I haven't been able to be in Los Angeles for Thanksgiving.
That is so ridiculous. And I don't mean to put a downer on the situation But like your grandmother's 105 years old. How many more opportunities are you going to get to be able to see her?
And let alone on Thanksgiving. I mean,
That's what I mean. That like pandemic be damned. That these are the tragedies that these lockdowns are causing. You know, it is more than anything else is losing opportunities that may not ever come again. For a lot of people.
I'm fortunate because she has a private nurse and they've stayed locked down and they have everything delivered. They haven't had fast food in, 8 months or something, they're completely locked down there. So I'm happy that she's safe, but I am sad that I can't go down and visit her.
Is she technologically hip? Or like, are you able to at least Zoom her or Skype her? Or even Facebook video chat?
Hearing, it's just her hearing is kind of bad. So it's hard to communicate with her because she can't understand the words.
Okay. Yeah, because that would be terrible that you couldn't even, and that's one of the nice things about technology, especially these technologies like that we're using now for the podcasting and all that, is at least even if you can't go physically see the person, live, you could at least video chat with them and you could see them and talk to them. That does help, but it doesn't replace, I guess is the best way to describe it. So at least you have that for this year, that you could at least sit down with like your tablet on the table and it's almost like she's sitting at the table with you.
Yeah, we're planning on doing that actually. Her nurse is going to set it up for us, so she'll have her hearing aids in, but it's definitely interesting seeing the people that are locked down and people that are still celebrating Thanksgiving. I mean, people are getting together and, I have some friends that are getting an outhouse so they could keep everyone outside.
An outhouse so everybody's going to eat in a shit shack?
No, they have big enough property where as long as you stay outside, you're good.
So I don't know. So in other words, they're getting one of those like those.
You just use the outhouse.
Like the tent things that you
see.
The
Colorado Springs self-cleaner.
How did you know? Oh my God, Don. How did you know?
Have your garden hose ready.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Bend
Lord.
over.
Oh, good Lord. What about you guys listening? Why don't you leave us a comment down below and let us know what are some of your holiday traditions and what dishes you're looking forward to, coming up this Thursday. And, of course, we here at Breaking the Fourth Wall and Realm of the Mist in general, wish everybody a healthy and safe holiday. If you're going to gather together, even though the governors say not to, I say absolutely go for it. Just do it responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Don't act a fool. Don't burn down the house. Just go out and have a good time. Be with family and friends, and prove that no stupid pandemic is going to stop love and family traditions. You know what I mean? And on that note, why don't we go ahead and get into some positivity with Colin and Colin's Corner.
The following is an important message from the Nurses Guild of Florida. We know COVID has many scared. Many of our seniors are even afraid to go to the doctors. Just the thought of being exposed to all the people in the waiting room, in addition to the doctor's staff, is a risk many don't want to take right now. However, putting off health care makes most conditions worse. The Nurses Guild has the solution. One that exposes you to just one person. Call your doctor's office and have them order a nursing assessment from the Nurses Guild. We are a 5-star Medicare home health agency. Your registered nurse in full PPE will perform a full head-to-toe assessment, vital signs and medication review, pulse oximetry, even an EKG if needed. Lab work and x-rays can also be done at home. Our registered nurse will discuss all of this strictly and directly with your doctor and get you results. All of our nurses and home health aides are fully screened, supervised, and COVID tested. Call the Nurses Guild today to arrange your home health visit at 954-596-9806 in Broward County and 561-826
8937 in Palm Beach County. Remember, healthcare put off is healthcare too late. Stay safe during the pandemic. Wear a mask and insist those around you wear a mask. Wash your hands frequently and stay home as much as possible.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Well, this week we got some pretty cool stuff going on. It's the holiday week for Thanksgiving. And the first thing I found that was positive this week was a story about a guy in Massachusetts who, for the first time in 35 years, it says here, the man can't host a Thanksgiving dinner for strangers. Since 1985, this guy, Scott McCauley, has prepared a massive turkey dinner so people don't have to be alone. But this year, everything's changing for him. Let's see, he's not the only person in this situation, of course. The stubborn albatross of the coronavirus is keeping countless people isolated in 2020. But this man turns the event in almost unthinkable. Over the past 35 years, he's prepared elaborate turkey spreads for hundreds of people he's never met, all with the goal of making sure they don't have to be alone on Thanksgiving Day. I just don't want people to be stuck at home feeling rotten, the 59-year-old vacuum cleaner repairman from Melrose, Massachusetts, told Today. On a normal Thanksgiving, McCauley spends hours hauling soft chairs, rugs, lamps, candles, and portable gas fireplaces into a big open meeting space to give people a cozy, comfortable place to hang out and talk for hours. Then he sets a table with beautiful place settings for anywhere from 70 to 100 individuals. Elderly people, cancer patients, AA members, low-income people, at-risk teens, recently divorced people, nursing home residents, eager for a change of scenery, and he serves them all mountains of food that he purchases on his own dime and prepares himself. This fall, as COVID-19 cases climb again in Massachusetts, McCauley watched his best-laid Turkey Day plans fall apart. So he has hatched a two-pronged plan for attack. First, for people who can cook at home, he's been using disposable roaster pans to create Thanksgiving gift baskets. He fills the pans with boxes of stuffing, cans of cranberry sauce, and an assortment of other fixings. Then he has a gift card so people can buy turkeys at a local grocery store, and he wraps the whole package up with gift paper to make it look nice. Wow.
Aww.
That's cool.
Making it happen. Either way, he's making it happen, and I think it's great.
But it brings up something that I didn't think about until this story. This time of year, the Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah era is when a lot of like the food banks. I don't want to say the food banks, but like the kitchens that they usually serve like meals for like the homeless and stuff like that, or the churches that do that and all.
Right.
What are they doing this year with the coronavirus and all that to help out the homeless and the less fortunate like they usually do, especially this time of year?
Right. I mean, I suppose they'd all just have takeout boxes and everybody wear a mask and come through line one at a time and stuff.
The way that they do it is pretty safe. They put it in the trunk of your car. They do like a big thing at Mile High Stadium every year, and Broncos and cheerleaders and the Broncos players help out and put it in the back of people's car that are at need for that.
Right, but I'm thinking of like the homeless shelters that usually do the hot meals and stuff like that, especially for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Where people volunteer in the kitchen making the meals and then just dishing it out to them right then and there. Essentially, homeless people don't have cars to go, pick up a Easter dinner or a Thanksgiving dinner to heat. I'm wondering what they're doing with that and still staying within the guidelines of like COVID.
Let's just be realistic. The homeless shelters are all full, and the people that are there are the ones that are going to get fed. I mean, nothing's changed. It's pandemic.
Still,
yeah, they're all just wearing masks.
Yeah, still, I gotta give it up to this guy. I mean, to have the heart to turn around and want to put out that much of a spread for people, and then even when coronavirus comes in and screws up his plans, he's like, you know what? I'm making Thanksgiving gift baskets. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, power to him.
He worked around it, and that's awesome. I mean, great for him. That's
I'm
one of the human
impressed.
things. We need to see more of that.
Yeah. I mean, and he was cooking for all these people. It's not like he was just getting a honey baked ham and serving it to them. No, he was actually very involved in this. It's great. And I'm proud that he's from Melrose, Mass. That's an awesome little city. My cousins are from, actually. So awesome. I hope that he gives it away to as many families as possible, because during these times, I'm sure a lot of people are not celebrating Thanksgiving.
Well, that was my point. Like with the homeless shelters and the I forget what they were called. You know,
Soup kitchens?
the soup kitchens. Thank you. That was what I was trying to look for the whole entire time. That's why I kept stumbling. You know, that's why I was digging in on that and everything else, is because of the fact that, like, in this time of year especially, it's already hard enough, and then throw in this virus and all the restrictions that some states are doing and more than others, and you know, it's like everything's hard enough. We need as much cheer as we can, especially now.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of the local shelters around here are hurting because they're not getting the donations they're used to, and they have a lot more people that are needing this year because of I mean, the shutdowns that cost a lot of people their jobs. A lot of the jobs haven't come back. Of course, in the entertainment industry, most of them haven't come back. You know, restaurant, bar business is not what it used to be. So there are a lot more people are hurting right now this time of year, especially than usual.
I'm actually kind of concerned for the toy drives, because I know that there used to be a lot of toy drives in the music scene, and I know that like car dealerships do a lot of toy drives, like banks do toy drives. A lot of people aren't going to these places.
Yeah, Wiley's does one every year.
See, my point exactly. What's going to happen to the toys that they don't get?
Right. At this time, I think we should all be encouraging to anybody out there who can help in these ways. Anybody who is well off at this time and they're financially stable and they can afford to donate a couple bucks or to donate a toy to Toys for Tots or something like that. Go for it. Do it. The world needs to help each other right now. This is a tough time for everyone. We all need to remember that. I mean, let's say there's somebody out there who's listening to our podcast and maybe they already had coronavirus and they're over it. So they feel confident. Now they're moving forward in life again. If they're on the fence and they're thinking about going to help out at some soup kitchen or to help with some kind of a Thanksgiving event in their area, I encourage them, go and do it, because those are the people they need, the people that are there to help. Because there's a lot of needy right now. And we all got to remember that. We got to lean on each other as human beings.
You're not wrong. Here in Philadelphia, one of the local radio stations, 93.3 WMMR, their morning talk show personalities, Preston and Steve, every year do something they call the Camp Out for Hunger, which is they stay at the Xfinity Live Center's parking lot with a whole bunch of fans and stuff like that, almost like a little camp out session, people in tents, people in campers, whatever, entertainment all day from the radio station and all that, and the whole entire goal is raising food and donations for food from the surrounding areas that you know the station reads. And I mean, these guys have pulled in like 6 million tons of food per year, and I'm not even exaggerating that. 6 million tons of food from this one event. It could be something as simple as go there and donate a couple soup cans. At least you're helping the cause, you know. So I usually don't give shout outs to competitions, but I got to give it up to Preston and Steve. They do this every year. It's always successful. It's always helpful. And guys, it doesn't cost you anything to go down there and help out. You know, it doesn't cost me anything to go down there and help
out. Keep your eyes open. At different places, sometimes in different locales, you'll have displays that you don't really notice. But if you look close, sometimes there's something like, oh, donate to this, donate to that, or little things like that. Like my mom with our business, she's got this Christmas Child program. And they start collecting these shoe boxes, and they put things in there that people in other third world countries need. Like deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, hairbrushes, things like that, pencils, notepad so they can write on, things that you don't think about, pairs of socks, these types of things. And so then this organization comes around and they pick up these boxes and they send them out to where they need to go around the world. And so we've always been supportive of that. And I encourage all our listeners, you know, help these things. You know, we're humans. We got to help each other out. We're in this together.
Absolutely. Any other inspirational stories?
Yeah, actually, I was looking at things with the Macy's parade. Is anybody paying attention to this? They've got all kinds of good stuff going on. They're going to have things done a little different this year. But some of the balloons here, what do we got here? Red Titan from Ryan's World, the Boss Baby, Stars, Astronaut Snoopy, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What else? Oh, Pikachu.
Aw.
Yeah. There's the Pillsbury Doughboy,
Yay.
Ronald McDonald, the Sinclair Dinosaur. Yeah, there's Smokey Bear. They're gonna have all kinds of great balloons. SpongeBob, the Elf on a Shelf.
Oh my God! Every one but one I'm excited for. That one, I'll close my eyes.
You don't like Elf on a Shelf?
And the Nutcracker.
No way!
Yeah.
So it's still happening?
Oh yeah. They're gonna do different things for the social distancing. They're gonna have performers that some of them are going to be via satellite type thing.
Yeah, I heard
No,
a lot
I mean,
of
like,
it. I heard
are
a lot
people
of it's
going to be on the streets?
Probably.
Yeah, they are still gonna have people on the streets, but it's gonna be limited. You'll have to go to Macy's.com and check it out for the details here. But they do have different performers here. AJR, Ellie Brooke, BB Rexana, Brett Young, Camille Schreier, Cinco, Darlene Love, Dolly Parton.
She's the only one I know so far.
Carol G. Kiki Palmer. Lauren Alana. New York Ballet.
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
Patti LaBelle.
Okay.
Pentatonics.
Who?
Sophia Carson.
The Pentatonics.
Yeah, Pentatonics.
They did that song with Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah, they've got some different stuff out there. They're somewhat got a good following going.
Can we ever get a rock band? Can we ever get, like, I don't care, give me the fucking Goo Goo Dolls. Can we ever have like one rock band or somebody who
just wants Bon Jovi. Let's just admit it, he wants Bon Jovi.
I will take Britney Fox if it's something, other than that same crap every day. Every show, every award show, every fucking parade, it's either people you never heard of or always some sort of EDM, pop, hip-hop, R&B crap. Rock is never recognized, and I am so sick of it, Like, give me a country band. Give me a decent named country band over half the crap they throw in these shows anymore.
There was a couple country on there.
They're not real country. You're talking about like Kelly Clarkson country, Luke Bryan country. Give me fucking Alabama, Alan Jackson.
Well, they got Dolly Parton.
Yep.
One. That's what I said, Dolly Parton. That's about the only, her and Patti LaBelle, the only two decent acts I heard in that whole entire deal.
Well,
but you're not on the pulse of the new music scene,
because
so
the new music sucks.
Right. Well, who knows? I mean, some years are better than others. But maybe they'll hear our cries and they'll get us some.
They never will.
Rock performers next year.
Look, the NFL has proven they'll never listen to the cries. Every year there has been a poll for Metallica to do the fucking halftime show. Metallica, the biggest band in the fucking world, and they refused to do it and said they have Beyonce and have fucking all these other idiots that really nobody really cares about except for the lowest common denominator that thinks it's cool to fucking, what we were talking about earlier. cool to pretend that there's somebody they're not.
Right.
The biggest band in the world, the NFL refuses to put on the stage because they're hip hop or R&B.
No, they're not crossovers.
Right, and they probably got a big price tag attached to a show if they do halftime.
Well, we're talking about Lars Ulrich. Of course he's got a big fucking price tag on it.
Well, Lars.
James and Kurt, they don't give a shit. Rob, he don't give a shit. Lars is the one's like money.
You can't blame them. They put a lot of work into their album.
No, absolutely. I'll never blame them.
Prince.
I'll never blame them for Napster.
That's
Everybody
right.
gets on Metallica's fucking shit list for Napster. I will always defend Metallica. It's their music.
Right.
They have the right to say you can't steal it.
Well, I tell you what, if they had Metallica for the Macy's parade, I will swear to this. If they set up Metallica for the Macy's parade next year, I will go to New York and I will be there and I will watch the parade myself in person.
Oh yeah, I would definitely go too.
I want if Metallica's on the Macy parade next year, I must make a demand that Ozzy gets dressed as Santa Claus at the end of the parade. He comes in as Santa Claus, passing out headless bat bodies.
I support this 100%.
Sharon, where the fuck am I?
I'm stuck in the chimney again.
I wholeheartedly support this. Macy's, make it happen.
Yeah, totally. Well, anyway, I'm just happy that these guys are still going to do their thing. Because it's been a yearly tradition for how many families to sit and watch it on television, or
your
to
grandparents,
actually go there and enjoy it.
Your grandparents were going to the Macy's and Gimbel's parade back in the day. Yeah,
Exactly.
or watching it or listening to it on the radio. And of course, it ended, like I said, every year with Santa Claus. That was what issued in the holiday season, the Christmas season, and all that. Was the end of the Thanksgiving Day parade when Santa showed up on his sleigh. This year, I don't know how they're doing it. I know a lot of things are being broadcast over internet or over satellite or whatever, but I hope to God they still have Santa coming down the street live. I think that's a tradition they have to have.
Santa over. He might be wearing a mask, though.
Even if he's wearing a mask, you got to have Santa coming down the street.
Wait, why does he have to wear a mask if he's going to be alone on a sled more than 6 feet away from any other human being?
Politics.
Reindeer farts.
Yeah,
Reindeer farts.
Reindeer
That's what I
farts.
said.
Yeah.
That's what he's been sniffing.
Reindeer fart politics. It's synonymous. It's the same.
Well,
damn
just
thing.
in case one of them reindeer was making out with that moose, has been licking salt everywhere.
Oh, yeah, and then eating fucking cells from
You
here.
just pop on Santa, give him COVID,
Yep. Don't let the reindeer lick your car. Just
No
remember
licking the
that.
sled.
And I
No
got to tell
licking
you,
this lay.
if Santa has to wear a mask, I feel for him, because wearing one of those with a beard is a pain in the ass.
Fuck yeah, it is, and mine's nowhere near as long as yours.
I believe it.
But no,
But,
that's my
other
only
than that-
demand of the Macy's parade is please keep Santa on the street. Don't make it something like some cartoon drawing or some fucking like on quote unquote on location video or something like that. No, have Santa coming down the street on his float, issuing in the holiday season.
Well,
Don't CGI Santa.
right. Speaking of Santa, another thing that I did notice, the last thing I come up with today was that NORAD is still going to be tracking Santa regardless of the coronavirus.
Good.
They've been doing it for 65 years, and they will be doing it again this year. So don't worry, kids. We're still tracking Santa.
That was one of the greatest things the news outlets, along with the military, have done.
I
We
thoroughly
are
enjoy
still
it.
tracking Santa Claus. We will find him.
Yep, we'll track them.
No, that's absolutely something I've always loved. The military, along with the local news outlets, have always done. Was on Christmas Eve giving you reports during the weather report, letting you know where Santa is now at the time of the world. Like here in Philadelphia, it's like, okay, Santa's in England right now, and they show you on radar where he is and all that shit, and you've got a couple hours before you should be in bed, and Santa will be in your neighborhood. Like, it was always such a great thing they did, and I'm glad they're keeping that tradition alive.
As a parent, I
You
want to
serious,
keep that
Clark?
alive. The bedtime right after, oh, he's going to be here soon. I like that.
Right, get the kid excited before they go to bed so they have sweet dreams and they wake up in a good mood.
And the parents get to drink while putting shit together.
Yeah, that's right.
How
Yeah,
the
oddly
fuck does
enough-
this go together? Give me another beer.
Well, oddly enough, the Santa NORAD tracking does coincide with Colorado as well, because apparently NORAD volunteers set up at Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado Springs every year normally.
Yep. It is done here. It's actually kind of a big deal.
So let's hear it for Colorado for sticking with the NORAD. At least they're going to do things differently, but they're still gonna track them.
Oh, come on! The rest of Colorado's just pissed off because Santa rides higher than they can get.
Come on, let's hear it for Colorado.
Oh my God.
We got Santa tracking, speed, and self-cleaning bathrooms that are the best in the country right now. Got a lot.
I'm a winner.
When Santa's got to drop a Yule log, you know where he's going to go.
Yes, very, very memorable public restrooms in Colorado.
Oh, dear God.
He's been looking forward to it all year, you know?
Oh, dear God, Santa dropped a fruitcake.
Well, that was Rudolph to drop that.
Oh, Lord.
You can tell from the salt.
Oh, boy. So,
was Rudolph licking the blue water?
That's all I got for this week. But we'll let you know if there's any more Santa shenanigans or if they drop anything.
Nice. Fruitcakes to all the bad boys and girls. All right, guys, that one's going to do it for us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did in any capacity, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out all the other great podcasts of Realm of Mist Entertainment and, of course, our audio podcasts on Anchor.fm, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard. Also, make sure you're checking out my boy, Don Smith, at
The Life Radio Show at thelife1069.com. You can also find me on Facebook at thelife1069 or on Twitter at Don Smith Comedy. Check it out. What do you got to lose other than an hour of your life? And you'll enjoy it. I promise. You'll enjoy like 30% of it. Okay, 100% of it for some of you. 30%. Just listen. I'm lonely.
And, of course, you can talk to my boy for some inspiration, Colin Smith. Oh, yes, Colin Smith. You guys are now married. Colin Washburn at...
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. Otherwise, just send me an email if you got some inspiring story or something cool to talk to us about at colinwashburn@gmail.com.
And, of course, if you want to send some dirty pictures and just generally be lonely during the holidays, you can contact Serenity at...
You might as well forward those over to Chris. He enjoys them thoroughly.
Absolutely.
And you can find me at the bottom of that Fireball bottle because that's what I'm going to be doing right now.
All right, guys. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe. Please be responsible. Please be drunk. And please be at my house in about an hour. I will talk to you next week on Breaking the Fourth Wall Weekly Show. Have a good night.